Hey, y'all. How are you today? Don't panic. It is me, alone. It's okay. I can do this by myself. Uh, Listen, I just realized maybe a couple of months ago that the interviews are amazing and beautiful, and I'm never going to give them up. But if I do interviews all the time, every single week, I forget to do things like tell you what I'm up to and invite you to play. So I have skinnied down the amount of interviews that I'm doing on this podcast and, get used to hearing a little bit more of what's going on, what I'm doing, what I'm obsessed with lately, and how you can use that to further your business. So grab the goggles, fasten the cape, and let's go to town. So, I have been creating an engagement community inside a platform called GoBrunch. If you're no stranger to the podcast, you know that I use GoBrunch for everything now. It's all my landing pages, it's my sales pages, it's my one-on-one meetings, it's my learning management system, it's where I keep my bots, it's where I have my membership. Y'all, I if it can be used, I use GoBrunch. Why? Makes it pretty simple for my audience to find me, doesn't it? It's kind of nice, actually. I remember signing up for classes a few years ago, and the first thing they would do is you buy the thing, and then they issue you an email with the 11 places that you need to access your information. 11 places seems like a lot. Seems like a lot for me. And I know that I would maybe get the first couple of things on the list done and then just hope that was enough so that I could forge forward with whatever they had for me. Times have changed a bit. Times have changed a bit. It's no longer as popular to kind of shove everything into a class that was like, worth a couple of, well, who knows what it's worth, but they've charged you a couple of grand. You're taking the class, and that's kind of it. For me, that model doesn't work very well. It's fine. I have tons to teach you. Come sit at my feet. Hey, sit on eye level with me. Don't sit at my feet. I'll tell you everything I know. Um, the problem is that it's implementation that is the key. Also, my wife just came home, so I'm going to need to open my door just a second. All right. She must be home just a little early today. Anyway, uh, so implementation is what really matters out of those classes. Implementation is going to change your life. Knowledge is not going to change your life. Sorry. Love you. Knowledge is not going to change your life. Except for those rare pieces of knowledge that kind of hit you on the head like a big old like wow 2x4 and make you change your actions instantly. Except for those types of things, knowledge ain't going to change your life. It's implementation. And it's strategy. When do you implement that thing? How do you implement that thing? Are you going in stages? Or are you going on lights on, lights off? Are you going on full on the strategy tomorrow, all pistons firing? Did I just make a car reference? It's okay, everybody. I'm okay. Do I go on all torpedoes firing at once, or am I implementing this thing in stages? What actions am I taking? How long is this supposed to take? How do I check if it's working? Implementation into an already running business, right? Because my business is already running. I'm implementing whatever this new thing is on top of what I've already got going on. Some things inside my system needs to change to accommodate for space for this brand new idea or process. Some things I need to build outside of my system and integrate in for this new idea or this new process. Implementing knowledge is always going to be harder than we think that it's going to be, unless your brain is really huge. And, trust me, I think my head's pretty big, but even so, stuff's hard to implement. And I know this from my clients as well. I know this from my coaching clients and my bot clients. I know that implementing something is almost never a simple process. I won't say never. So, moving on from the $2,000 class idea, which has been done bing to death, moving on to more of a membership idea, more of, okay, what's happening in your life? What's going on in this moment? What new idea are you trying to incorporate? Is it way too much and you need to chop it down into a series of small ideas? Learning how to implement the right tool at the right time, or implement the right idea at the right time. That's the key. That's the key. Because then it has no choice but to make your business better. It just doesn't have any choice. So I know that Einstein said imagination is greater than knowledge, and that guy had some knowledge. I'm going to say implementation is greater than knowledge at this point in our coaching lives. Implementation is what makes my clients' heart sing when they can present me a little problem or an issue or something that's going on, and I can help them dig a little bit deeper and find the best answer for this moment. That's where the cool stuff goes on. That's where the cool stuff goes on. So I have designed the Epic Engagement Guild, and it is, it's where my paid services, my paid community services are at. We've got lots of things: group coaching. We've got a whole community inside Go Brunch. We also have some asynchronous places to kind of leave messages for each other and work on problems if nobody's around. We've got a lot of things. Today, I am making tweaks on the 24/7 answer bot that will always be in your pocket. It's a Sensei RJ bot. And let me tell you, it's remarkable and remarkably like me. I think it's kind of cool. Anyway, working on all of those things, but I made it community centric. I made it community engagement for a reason, and that's the topic for our show today: is community engagement. 3 stages. I want to talk about this really quick with you. Worse than the idea of the $2,000 class and you'll know everything you know to skyrocket to coaching stardom, worse than that idea is set up a Facebook group. Holy moly. Mother of whatever you consider holy, let us not set up another Facebook group. Or any sort of text-based group. Some of them have some really good merits. I know I was on Circle for a while. I liked it because the owners actually think about connecting you with your potential clients, with your members of your group. They really care about it, and they do things to further that. Whereas some text-based groups, mainly hosted on major social networks, they're really a place for the owners of the social networks to data mine everything they can about the people in those groups. It's not really set up for the coach, for the leader of the group to do much. And clap your hands twice and turn around in a circle if you know that for sure, because it is, coaches and group leaders being able to do much in those communities just died years ago, and people are bored and people are tired. Be that as it may, it's not a real engaging place for your community anyway. Facebook is a place to engage in an argument. Um, I mean, that's the way that it is. Twitter, you were probably angry logging in. So I mean, there are lots of communities out there that are built on somebody else's ground. I wanted to build one on my ground. I wanted to create what my people see, what they experience, what their journey is along the way. So, let's talk about three little topics. And I'm not going to cover these comprehensively, okay? Because it takes a long time to cover these comprehensively, but I want to start a conversation among my people about what is community? What are we doing to attract our ideal people? What are we doing to engage those people? And how are we making a profit? Now, profit isn't always measured in dollars, but I'm not shy about letting people know that this is a service that is paid for. That, a lot of that helps to pay my bills and keep my household happy. I mean, that's what, if you can't do that, then you probably are out of business at some point. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about attracting people first. Do you know who you're attracting? Do you know? Please, please don't give me everyone in the world. Don't give me this because that is a clue. And I know exactly where you're at in business. And that's maybe your first, I mean, like you're real young in business to if you give me that answer. And I know it. And I know it. And I have compassion for that because I was right there. I was right there. And a million people wanted to sell me something and nobody cared really about how I got along with those things. And I was trying to decide which one to buy instead of following my gut and following my heart like I needed to. It's okay. It took me a while to get to the place where I am doing that. It takes everyone a while. It does. It's okay. But back to the question, who are you attracting? Who do you want? Who do you want? For me, I want a real compassionate community. I want a place where I'm the default leader when we need one, but we are all making progress and moving in a direction of making our businesses better and making our marketing and our sales more engaging. That's what I want. I want ride or die besties. Okay. I want those people who are going to see me when I'm vulnerable and appreciate that and be vulnerable with me themselves. That's the kind of community I want. It might not be what you want at all. Maybe that may be terrible for your business, but the point is, I know exactly who I want. I know exactly. It's those creative visionaries out there. It's those coaches who want to ride on the edge of what's happening next. And it's the communities who want to follow them. I want those. I want those. Took a lot of work. Took a lot of work to figure out who exactly do I want to attract. Because the answer, everyone in the world or everybody within the sound of my voice, no. It's not the right answer. Attracting a Gary V like crowd. Now, nothing against anyone on the internet, well, except for a few people, but nothing against that idea. But it was super popular a while ago. And as we move into the next phase of our existence, that is highly peppered by lots of AI, the more we move into that phase of existence, the more people want things that are personalized to them. Here's my promise to you. You can go from general to genuine if you focus on exactly who you want. If you focus on how you're going to get there. If you're not focused on quantity, general equals quantity, okay? Genuine equals quality. You can write that down if you want to. Maybe we'll put it on a t-shirt. Anyway, you got to go from general to genuine. Got to go from trying to attract as many people as you possibly can, and maybe three of them will trickle back and pay you money. We got to get away from that state of mind and that attitude and that way of doing things, because what it really does is it makes other people money. Straight up, this is what I'm going to tell you. That makes other people money. And it's an incredible waste of your time, because, my friend, you can't post 10 times a day on TikTok. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe you're awesome like that. And maybe you really enjoy doing that. But let me ask you, grasshoppers, how many of you out there really love how much time you spend trying to attract a single soul by talking about general things? I talk about things that light my people's fire. I know who I want, and I consistently attract. And I don't need anybody else. I just need them. Just need them. If you're within the sound of my voice and it's lighting your fire right now, you're one of 1,000. Get a hold of me. We'll have some magic fun together. Promise. If you're already in my crowd, there's a reason you're here, and I am so glad you're here. Anyway, attracting that ideal client audience, attracting people who are going to be willing to, if you say, hey, I've got a little challenge coming up. Who would like to maybe do this with me? We'll go, yeah, I need that too. Let's do the thing. That's what I want. That, my friend, is what is helpful in this realm of engaging community. I don't want onlookers. I don't want lurkers. I mean, it's totally fine to lurk. If you're doing that right now, that's totally great. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll gather enough impetus to step in the pool one day. That's fine. But I need to focus on giving value to those people who are swimming right along with me and who are maybe just as crazy as I am. It takes a while. It takes a while to get this nuts. Anyway, attracting your people, you got to know who they are. You got to know who they are. You got to know how they feel. Demographics will not do this for you. It will not do this for you. I know that it's the easiest facts to gain about people. Everybody has an age. Everybody has certain facts about them, right? Hair color, eye color, whatever. Everybody has certain facts about them, how much there's in their bank account and how much they're making a year and all, where they live. And everybody has that. The problem is it tells you absolutely nothing about that human being. It tells you nothing about why they made the decisions that they made and the choices that they made to land them where they are today, which is potentially in need of what you could bring to them. Telling me what your address is doesn't give me that. And it never will. It never will. Those things, I know that's what, it's what we use paid advertising for, right? Because it's the easiest thing to quantify. I need the stuff inside. The stuff inside is going to tell me whether you're going to be one of my ride or dies, or whether you are a person who would totally fit somebody else's community, maybe a friend of mine, or maybe somebody else that I know about. You know what I mean? This is the part that everyone skips. This is the part that everyone thinks that they know. And I get that. But if you want an engaging community, if you want to go from invisible to invincible, the first step, know thy audience. Know thy audience. It's also in my manifesto. Anyway, second step, engaging that audience when they come. Engaging. I remember years ago, what we used to do in all the text-based groups was gather a bunch of people, have them do an intro post, and then issue a few questions, or induce a discussion or two, or try to induce a discussion or two. I get that. I get that. And that worked for a long time. Let me not, let's make no bones about it. It worked for a long time. But then people stopped listening, really. And algorithms got worse. So you would post something and nobody ever sees it. And then you're like, what? Am I invisible? What's happening? You're not invisible. The algorithm is throwing the invisibility cloak onto you. It's fine. We've all gotten it. This is what I know. True engagement comes from co-creating things with your audience. Co-creation. My hero is Freddie Mercury. One of my heroes. I have a lot of them. One of my heroes is Freddie Mercury. The man died in 1994, I believe. It was 94, 95. It was mid-90s. And he still held a sing-along at the 2012 London Olympics. How did he do that? How did he do that? How did he, they used obviously a tape of him singing before, but everybody was so excited about singing along, right? You can look this up. This is all verifiable. A Queen is the band that came up with the stomp, stomp, clap that you hear at sports stadiums throughout the world every day. We will rock you. But I will engage you. Anyway, the purpose beyond all of that, recognizing that it's not you creating and a bunch of people standing around and saying, ooh, I want that, here's my wallet. We've seen those businesses, right? We've been a part of the ooh, ah. We've been handing over our wallet to people who really just counting their cash. Their relationship with you ends at the cash register. Okay? For me, that's not a relationship at all. For me, I'd rather help you discover what's special about you. I'd rather ask you and get your hand in co-creating something, because whatever we co-create is automatically going to be more special to you than anything that I would have just created for you and said, here's your Christmas present, boom, hand over your wallet. Why is that, RJ Redden? Well, let me tell you. It's the IKEA effect. Okay? Now, have you gotten the furniture from IKEA? You stand in those lines, you wander through, grabbing shelving units and desks and whatever you can grab, and you get it home. And then you've got those directions. You know the directions. Sometimes they're written so tiny that you need a magnifying glass, and sometimes they're just not written in really good English, and sometimes it's just pictures and you're supposed to figure it out. At any rate, you put together the piece of furniture. Probably takes you at least a minute or an hour or two. Usually way more time than you thought. And then you have it, the bookshelf that you have been dreaming of, the desk that will finally take care of all of your accoutrements, if you're saying it the American way. But accoutrement is more of a nod toward the French. Anyway, hi, French folks. Anyway, you've got the desk that's going to hold all of your important things. You've got all the right stuff right there. And you, my friend, have taken part in the making of this thing, because when it arrived at your house, it was a pile of bolts. And now it's precious. Now, to onlookers, this is an IKEA desk, honestly. it's something you put together, and they're always going to say it looks nice, but it's never going to be more special to anybody but you, because you put that thing together. You used your brain and whatever Allen wrench they gave you and figured out those directions and put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get the thing to stand. That, my friends, is essential about community. When you're building your community, constant feedback. Constant feedback. What do they love? What do they not like so much? What makes them uncomfortable? What makes them giggle? What were their reactions when they did this, clicked this button, went into this room, accessed this resource? You need to know all of these things. Because what that'll do is allow you to co-create. People, just like people put extra value into that desk or bookshelf that they put together from IKEA, they will put more value upon your community if they're helping to create what it looks like, what the features are, what it does. Are you smelling what I'm cooking? God, I hope so, because I watch a lot of Chopped. Anyway, so number 2 is definitely engaging that community. Key piece, co-creation. Again, in my manifesto, it's number 10. Anyway, the third thing that I want to talk to you about is profiting from that community. Ain't no shame in my game. I profit from my community, both the paid members and the non-paid. The non-paid folks find other people that will pay sometimes. The non-paid folks give me it's just nice to get some love from people and to return that. I think in this world, the way that it's built up around us today, we can have a whole lot more effect on the world by looking at the people directly around us. And when I look around at my tavern at the Come Right Inn and I see people co-working and people are just dropping by to say hi, that gives me so much positive energy, and that is a profit. But let's talk about money. Let's talk about making money from your engaging community. Let's talk about making money from your community. There's always a membership. There's a membership available. Creating that membership around what your ideal clients want and helping them achieve their goals. Yes. The more that you can do that, the better that it is. When I created the membership that I currently have, the Epic Engagement Guild, I packed it full of stuff. I packed it full of things that people can access right along with me or asynchronously, right? On their own time, in their own pajamas in the middle of the night, bunny slippers. I packed it with opportunities to get to know me, but also to get to know all the other members. I packed it full of things that I know will make them successful. It's for them to pick up the tools. It's for them to pick up the tools. If they never pick up the tools, then it's mine to ask that I put the right tools in there. So far, we're having a darn good time, and I'm not worried about this. But I give them basically a bucket full of tools. Bucket, I don't know. Maybe something more nice. A treasure chest. I'm adopting that. I give them a treasure chest full of tools. And I'm there reminding them, pick these up. This'll help you. This will make you more successful today. I don't promise anybody $1 million. I don't have $1 million. Who am I to promise $1 million? But here's what I have. I have a group of people that if they were to not see me with no explanation for a few days, I'd be getting a few texts. I'd be getting some, what's going on with you? Are you sick? Are you in the hospital? What's happening? Because they know where I always am. They know that I'm there for them whenever they have something going on. I care about them. I care about their businesses. I care about their careers and their families and their lives. And they care about mine. That's what having a tribe is all about for me. That's what it's all about for me. Having the chosen family. And when I'm talking about that, I'm not just talking about the people, obviously the membership is really helping me, achieve some financial goals. But when I say community, I'm also talking about every person on my email list. We've been taught over and over again. We've been slammed over the head with, this is how to profit from your email list. I don't have an email list. Okay. I have people who've joined my circle for whatever reason. They've joined my circle. They had to make a choice at some point. Or at least they've chosen not to hit unsubscribe. I don't know. Anyway, they've had to make a choice at some point. And they choose to keep remaining in there with me. Every time I write an email, I get replies. I'm asking for them a lot. Again, feedback, people. Get your feedback. Get you some. Feedback, get you some. Is that a t-shirt? I don't know why I'm stuck on t-shirts today, everybody. But back to business. Profiting from your community. All the time. The real thing is this. If it's true that only about 3% of the people are ready to buy from you the first time they meet you, what happens to the other 97%? If you have done all of the work of attracting the right people and keeping them engaged with stuff that they want to be and be a part of, then whenever it gets time to be part of the 3% that are ready, willing, and able to buy something from you that day, they're going to go straight to you. There's no such thing as shopping around. That's how I make profit for my community, is that I continue to be there for and with them. They're people that I love and care about. You know what I mean? This is real weird for a person who calls themselves a marketer to say. It really is, right? What you're supposed to do is go get more and more and more and more, and more is the answer to every question. A bigger list is the answer to every question. No, my friend, it's not. That is a road to burnout. That is a way to pay for ads, more and more and more and more. It's a vicious cycle. For me, it stopped a while ago because I saw where it was going and I didn't want to burn out there. For me, the profit from my community comes from treating everybody like a VIP, giving them a bit more than they've asked for. I'm not everybody's style. I'm just not. That's okay. I don't need to be everyone's style. What I need to do is be a leader in the crowd that has collected around me. I need to say, let's go forward in this direction. And I need to take it seriously when a bunch of people say, hey, I'd rather go in this direction. Because, my friends, it's not about me. My community is not about me. The more and more I saw lots and lots of communities on Facebook that I was supposed to join so that blah, blah, blah could happen or whatever, and not just Facebook, but others as well, the more I joined that type of stuff, the more I saw people who led communities and it was all about them. It was all about what they had to offer. It's all about, the leader of the group. I consciously created my community so that we're equals. I'm going to end with a story, and you've heard this a billion times, but I'm going to tell it anyway because it's the heart and soul of what I believe community is. I'm going to end with this, and then I'm going to tell you something else, and then I'll be done for this day. What Oh, so the story is there was this dude, and well, I don't even remember all the story now that I'm thinking about it. It has to do with people feeding each other with really long handled spoons. It was I can remember this story only barely. I'll look it up later on, trust. I don't often forget the story I'm trying to tell as I'm trying to tell it. But it had to do with this room full of people that had really long handled spoons, and they couldn't eat if they tried to feed themselves, but they could eat if they fed each other. Now, I hope there were a lot of napkins there. 'Cause you never know who's on the other end of that spoon. But I will say that that concept of let's feed each other, that that idea is growing in power every day in the Epic Engagement Guild, which y'all, if you haven't joined, I need you to contact me. Let's see how we can make this happen. It's full of tools. It's full of tools, my tool stack, a 24/7 bot that'll answer any question that you might pose to me. And it's in your pocket, so you can access me at any time. Group coaching every single week. First Draft Ninja, an AI writer that'll let you write in your own voice. Listen, it's packed with value, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Are you going to let me feed you? Are you going to let the others in the group feed you? Are you going to be willing to pick up a spoon? This is the mission for today. And I really want you to think about it. And I want you to know I love y'all. And I deeply want you to stop by the bar. Come talk to me. If you're interested in the Epic Engagement Guild, set up an appointment. Meetwithrj.com. Not hard to remember. Set up an appointment with me. Book me, and let's get this going. There's no time like the present to start building your future. In fact, you can't start building your future in the past. You've got to build your future in the present. There ain't no other choice. So, grasshoppers, I say this. I say that, if nobody's told you they love you today, I love you. I appreciate what you're trying to do out there in the world. Entrepreneurs are the backbone of whatever economy we have out there. Entrepreneurs are the backbone of it. And I appreciate what you're trying to do out there. I appreciate the spirit that keeps you trudging forward one step by one step at a time. I don't know, one of those. I appreciate what keeps you walking forward. And if you're tired, and especially if you're lonely, come right in. I'll be sitting at the bar if I'm not in the meeting. And let's talk. All right. That's it for this podcast this week. Same bot time, same bot channel next week, Grasshopper. Come join us. And until then,